So, as we released our last Phasmophobia update video, the devs over at Kinetic Games released a massive patch to Phasmophobia. Hey guys, I'm Obi.
And I'm Sobi. Before we jump into all the new content and ghost changes, make sure to hit the like button. It's the easiest way to support creators like us. It helps us grow and reach a broader audience, and we really do appreciate it. Think about subscribing as well.
With that out of the way, let's jump in. So to start off, the patch was more about the ghosts than anything else. A good few of the ghosts received some minor and major changes. That being said, we have 5 ghosts up for today's update, and after the patch, we are left wondering, are they going to update the rest of them now? So starting out with the most dangerous ghost in our opinion, the demon. Now the player's weakness for the demon used to be reduced sanity when using a Ouija board. However, with the Ouija board becoming a cursed object, it seems like a strange thing for the demon. The devs over at Kinetic Games have actually given the demon the weakness that the Banshee used to have. So instead of the crucifix only being effective at a 3-meter range, it has now been extended to 5 meters.
With the demon being updated to take the weakness of the Banshee, you know they had to change the Banshee in some way. Not only did they give the Banshee a new weakness, but they also gave the Banshee some new and terrifying abilities. So the Banshee's new weakness is that it can sometimes be heard wailing in the parabolic mic. Now to be fair, I think this is kind of a lame weakness, just because I can only imagine that the sometimes means almost never. That would totally give it away a little too early and easily, right? Now because they gave it that weakness, it is more in line with what people typically think of when they hear Banshee. Now that that is in the game, the new abilities that the Banshee has received are pretty stellar too. Now if you hear a singing ghost event and you are the target, get ready to have an extra 5% sanity drain, which is terrifying because now the Banshee will only check the sanity of their target before they attack, if you are playing multiplayer. Also, if that wasn't enough, you will never feel more singled out and scared now if a roaming ghost event has them walking straight towards you.
The Shade has also received some updates. Now, as we all know, the Shade is typically the most passive ghost around until it's too late. However, we have been seeing that the Shade will immediately pop up and say hi and scare you, then not do much of anything until your sanity is super low. Well, the devs have noticed this as well, and have changed how Shades will interact with us. Now they will have much of a lower chance of initiating a ghost event while you have higher sanity. Now for every 1% of sanity lost, the ghost event chance will increase by 2%. So for an example, if you are completely sane and have 100% sanity, then there is 0% chance that the event will happen. At 75%, you'll have a 50% chance for a ghost event, and at 50% chance, you will have 100% chance that something will happen. Speaking of something that will happen in game, that is no problem for our next ghost, the Poltergeist. Seemingly having the least amount of changes, but also a massive change in our opinion, now the Polty will affect everyone's sanity equally when throwing objects instead of just one, and the sanity drain is going to be 2% per thrown item. We could be seeing massive sanity drops with this ghost, especially if it's extra handsy.
The last ghost to receive some changes with this patch is the Hantu. Apparently some of the most daring ghost hunters were looping the Hantu to the point that the devs felt that the Hantu was no longer getting as much fear. Now to make sure the Hantu can keep it as cold as they possibly can, they have now doubled the chance to turn the breaker off. Also, their breath will show in a room 3 Celsius, or 37.4 Fahrenheit. You're going to want to turn the breaker on as soon as you can though, because the ghost speed is directly tied to the temperatures near the ghost. In freezing temperatures, this ghost is a whopping 2.5 meters per second. To put that into perspective, that is only 0.5 meters per second slower than a Rev that has eyes on you. They ramped up the speed quite a lot. A few of the other things to change are the tarot cards, and what one of the cards do, as well as changing how much sanity you lose while playing with the voodoo doll. If you haven't messed around with the cards much, there is a High Priestess card that you could draw in multiplayer that would bring a player that was already dead back to life. Now that is a fantastic thing. However, it was heartbreaking drawing one of those cards early to where often people would wait until one player was already on the other side to mess around with them. Well, fear no more. As of now, if you draw one early or in single player, it will be stored and used upon the next death. So pull away and just know that if you run into trouble and have already drawn that card, you will know that you are now safe. Also, as you're pulling cards, the Tower card will now force interaction with the ghost writing books, dots, and doors, rather than just random clutter that can't net you any evidence.
Now there are 20 different fixes implemented into this patch. We decided to choose our top 5 and tell you about those. So starting out at number 1, since we are on the tarot card topic, the Tower card could be used before to cancel a hunt as it's starting. This is not the case anymore. Number 2, the Banshee was having problems switching targets after the initial target had been dealt with in Nightmare mode. This has been fixed. Number 3, the Raiju was being sneaky and gaining extra speed on items that were not in your inventory. Thankfully, the devs have taken this away. Number 4, you can no longer flicker lights on and off to to force the mayor's ability. And number 5 we just talked about in our latest discussion series on Phasmophobia. If you haven't seen it, be sure to go check that out now. We had talked about how we didn't like that during weather events, we would only get one loud lightning strike. Thunderstorms have been updated so that the thunder can be heard throughout the entire match.
If you liked today's video, please make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing as well to see all the latest content coming to our channel. Taking a second to say that if you want to play this game with us, make sure to come over to our Twitch, where we play Phasmophobia and many other games live and with our viewers. Links are always in the description. Now, what do you think of the updates to the Ghost? Are you excited to see them in practice? Are you going to use the tarot cards more? Let us know down in the comments.
Until next time, this is Obi.
This is Sobi.
Signing out.
See you guys next time.